What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about dating damaged men and 7 rules that you can employ to protect yourself. Now, just to define what a damaged man is in this context, a damaged man can be any man going through a lot of things or in crisis at the moment, or a man who's been hurt before, or exhibiting behaviors that suggest he's been hurt before or suggest he's been exposed to some emotional trauma. I meet a lot of women who love dating damaged men. Many of them have what some people call broken bird syndrome. That means to basically gravitate toward people they have to mother, nurse, and nurture back into wholeness. People who are in crisis and people who are in need. Guys they have to upgrade. The women I meet with broken bird syndrome tend to give a lot, but not receive a lot in return. Over time, they ultimately usually grow a little bit resentful, feeling disregarded by their one-sided relationships and spouses. With that said, many of you might encounter good but damaged men, and they may be worth a look. But many more of you might encounter shitty but damaged men, and I suggest you leave them right where they are. Now, if you insist on dating damaged men, please remember these 7 rules to help you avoid creating a mother-son dynamic that sets you up to fail and stops him from growing past his baggage. Rule number 1, don't try to fix everything for him. Discomfort is the best teacher. It forces evolution and it causes growth. Tribulation builds strength and character. Don't stunt your man's evolutionary growth by trying to do everything for him, or by trying to make all his issues your issues, especially in new relationships. Let him figure his own shit out. Otherwise, you'll be training him to depend on you instead of him supporting you like a man should. The fantasy is of a strong man, not a dependent one. Rule number 2, don't try to be everything to him. Some women get sucked into being a man's girlfriend, sex toy, psychotherapist, his taxi, his bank, his friend, his mom, his accountant, his stylist, his manager, and then wonder why they feel alone or why they feel themselves unsupported. They wonder why no one comes to their rescue. People often forget to check on the strongest people that they know or the strongest people around them. It's just assumed that they're doing well. You don't want this to happen in your relationship and you be the strong person that he's not checking on. Make sure he understands that he has a purpose and a responsibility in your life as well. He should be an asset to you, not a liability. Rule number 3, observe his commitment to change. Take some time to watch him before you just dive into being with him or fixing his issues. Some people are chronically unhappy and unlucky. The fault then is their own, probably because they give a minimum effort to change their circumstances and they give no effort to change themselves. However, they work very hard to draw upon the pity of others. That's because they're just full of sad songs and excuses. In that case, you may realize the main issue in his life is him. If a man is truly committed to changing his circumstances, then you'll witness him also committed to changing himself. He won't be looking for you or anyone else to save him. His pride in saving himself will be obvious. So with that said, if you see a man in crisis but he's focused on the solution, staying diligent in his work, committed to his self-improvement, committed to making sound decisions that lead to a measurable and quantifiable change in his life, he may be a better emotional investment. The key is to take enough time to observe him being damaged and taking damage to get a more accurate read on his future and his potential. Too many women decide that they like a guy and jump right into his mess to prove themselves worthy when they haven't even figured out if he is. With that said, rule number 4 is, if you're not his girlfriend, don't pretend to be. Stop trying to earn a title. Some of y'all be working y'allself to death trying to get promoted. Y'all be doing all the girlfriend stuff that y'all can possibly do, hoping that one day he sees some new value in you and makes things official. Or at the very least, stop tapping other women. Newsflash ladies, if a guy's been banging you for more than 2 or 3 months and he hasn't mentioned a relationship, he likely has no plans for you. Rule number 5, recognize the "I've been hurt before" bullshit. I wish women would just start telling these guys, boy, get your weak ass out of here. We've all been hurt before. Because it's true. We've all been hurt. But that doesn't give us a license to mislead people. Stop having sex with these guys who tell you all about their trust issues but are eager to come over late. Who said they're not ready for a relationship or they can't give you 100% but they're eager to come over and dig into you. Excuse my French, but no matter how hurt this guy was or says he was, you ain't gonna heal him with no pussy. His issues are emotional, psychological, or character-based. The work is his to do. If you lay with enough damaged men, you will become as damaged as they are, or pretend to be. You'll be that bag lady that Erykah Badu sang about. If he says he can't commit because he's been hurt before, just move on. You're not going to change his mind with sex or favors. So tell him to call you when he knows that he wants a whole relationship. Don't budge on that. Don't bang him one last time, do not pass go, and do not collect $200. Stop dragging yourself along and stop accepting these dumbass excuses from these guys. I can't give you my all because I've been hurt before. Every time I put a title in a situation, it gets all weird and messed up. I don't like titles. Why can't we just keep doing this? Why can't we just keep having fun with each other? You know I got trust issues. I ain't ready yet. All that shit basically just means, please let me keep hitting it until I get tired of you and I move on. Yes, he's been hurt before, but it shouldn't be a ticket to bang you indefinitely or until he can trust love again. If he was that hurt to begin with, he shouldn't be starting any relationships or situationships. In fact, his intent to lean on that should tell you everything you need to know about his growth and development. A lot of y'all don't even require evidence of growth or development or evolution from the guy you're dating. That's because you want to be the one who causes it. Too many of y'all want to mother and love a man back into wholeness, instead of finding a whole man. You can upgrade a man's style, his culture, or his way of life. You can't upgrade a man's character or intent. Some guys are just trying to bang you into a bigger, better deal comes along. Moving on. Rule number 6. Don't settle for the friends with benefits thing as a consolation prize to not getting a relationship or the commitment that you wanted. Most guys will just bang you until they get bored or until you get frustrated with the neglect. And then they'll use your attitude as an excuse to make their exit. They basically just plan to hit it until you become an inconvenience or you try to force your feelings, which they don't care about, onto them. They will argue against relationship titles but beg for sex after telling you how hurt they were the last time they opened up. It's just a ploy to score steady ass without responsibility. Stop screwing men who aren't your man if you're looking for a relationship. With that said, rule number 7. Avoid the scarcity mindset. The scarcity mindset is what holds a lot of people in crummy relationships and toxic situations. They don't think they can find anybody else. Now, I'm no mathematician. In fact, I might have gotten a C- on my last probability and statistics test. But even I know that the probability of there not being a great person out there for everyone when there are 7.5 billion people on Earth is slim. Very slim. There's someone out there for everyone. There may even be a few dozen or 100 or more matches for all of us. People who we'd be compatible with who would also treat us well. That might sound wacky to some of y'all, but I personally believe in multiple soulmates. There's a match for everyone. There are just too many damn people in the world to only have one person that you're compatible with or capable of having a connection with. With that said, the desperation and the scarcity mindset has too many people taking shit they don't need from people who don't treat them well. People who don't love them or have enough emotional maturity to do so in a healthy way. People always think no one else will want them or they won't be able to find anybody else. And it's crap. Listen, if he can't overcome being damaged, let him go be damaged with someone else. You find somebody else. Listen, good men do exist, and just because you don't like them or you haven't traditionally noticed them as much as you did the more popular types of guys that are considered hot, doesn't negate their existence. There are plenty of decent men out here. Don't believe the lie. Too many women aren't taking responsibility for the shitty decisions they make, knowingly chasing guys who are emotionally unavailable. They get disappointed and tell everyone else that good men don't exist. It's bullshit. Anyway, I think I've said enough. Share my videos. Check out my website for phone consultation booking information. I'll get with y'all later.